3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Diggs in motion left. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go. Tiger.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Allen Bailey in there to sack him for a loss of 6. To throw, Bridgewater. Hard throw, incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And Forbath will put this one through. And that will make it 6-0. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner, what, 1999 when he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. On 3rd down. It's Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They are going for it. It's Smith. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. 30 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Here's Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first-ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half, Bridgewater lets it fly for Thielen, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. First half in the book. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the 3rd quarter. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Play action now. Bridgewater. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This is taken at the 18. A great return there of 22 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use... This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for KC. And even 50 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They run again with Hunt. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They snap it to Smith. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Throwing, Bridgewater. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Allen Bailey in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Chris Jones. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Smith going to give this one to Hunt. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. This is Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't he?
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. Flushed out right. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the first carry for the former Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
On second down, here's Smith. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Everson Griffin in there to get him for his second sack of the night. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
So the sack of Smith, and now the Chiefs coming up facing 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Let's go. Dagger.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The Chiefs on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Anthony Barr able to run him down for a loss of a yard. Toss play to McKinnon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Here's McKinnon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the... And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited time.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
Yeah. Pulling up with the crew.
Oh my goodness.
Must have done same with the roof.